he sold one painting in his entire life. 1. Today, his paintings sell for over $100 million. He never knew that. He died believing he was a failure. He was wrong, but by the time the world understood that, it was too late to tell him.
English with Famous Minds podcast. Listen, learn, imagine.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vicky, and this is English with Famous Minds podcast, the show where you learn real English by talking with the most fascinating people in history. Not a language lesson, not a history class. Both. At the same time. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button right now, because every episode you will meet someone who changed the world, and you will understand them in English. Today's guest painted some of the most famous works in history and struggled every single day with his own mind. Vincent van Gogh. Welcome.
Thank you, Vicky. I am not used to people wanting to listen to me.
Vincent, you started painting seriously when you were almost 30 years old. That is considered late for an artist. Did that worry you?
At first, yes, I felt like I had wasted years. I had tried other things before. I worked as a teacher, as a preacher, as an art dealer. Nothing felt right. But when I finally picked up a brush, something inside me said, "This is it." It was never too late. It was simply not yet the right time.
How did you know painting was the right path?
Because for the first time, I forgot to feel afraid. I forgot to feel like a failure. I just worked for hours without noticing time passing. That feeling does not lie. When you find the thing that makes you forget yourself, you have found something important.
You sold almost nothing during your life. How did you keep painting without any success, Vincent?
Because I was not painting for success, I was painting because I needed to. If I had waited for recognition before continuing, I would have stopped after the first year. Recognition can take a lifetime, sometimes longer. You cannot build your reason to create on something that may never come.
That must have been incredibly difficult financially.
It was. My brother Theo supported me financially for years. Without him, none of my work would exist. I am not ashamed of that. Asking for help is not weakness. Sometimes it is the only way. That good work gets the chance to exist at all.
You struggled with severe mental illness during your life. How did that affect your work?
In every possible way. There were periods when I could not paint at all. The darkness was too heavy. And there were periods when painting was the only thing keeping me alive. My mind was both my greatest enemy and the source of everything I created. I do not know how to separate the two.
Do you think your art would exist without your suffering?
I have asked myself that many times. I do not have a comfortable answer. I do not believe suffering is necessary for art. But for me, it was part of the story. I tried to take something that was destroying me and turn it into something that could help someone else. That did not heal me, but it gave my pain a purpose.
That is a very powerful way to think about it.
It is the only way I survived as long as I did.
Your paintings use very intense colors: bright yellows, deep blues, swirling skies. Why did you paint the world that way?
Because that is how I experienced it. I did not paint what I saw. I painted what I felt. A starry night is not just dark and light. For me, it was movement, energy, almost alive. I wanted people to feel the sky, not just look at it.
Many people connect deeply with your paintings, even today. Why do you think that is?
Because honesty is rare. Most art tries to be impressive. I tried to be honest. People do not always understand technique, but they recognize honesty immediately. When something is real, you feel it before you understand why.
You and your brother Theo wrote hundreds of letters to each other. What did writing mean to you?
Everything. Painting was how I spoke to the world. Writing was how I spoke to myself. In my letters, I could be confused. I could be afraid. I could be uncertain. The page never judged me. It simply listened.
Did writing help you understand your own art?
Constantly. Sometimes I did not know why I painted something a certain way, until I tried to explain it in a letter, putting feelings into words. Forces you to understand them more clearly. I learned more about myself through writing than through almost anything else.
You once said that you put your heart and soul into your work and lost your mind in the process. What did you mean by that?
That creating something honest cost something. I gave everything I had to my paintings, every emotion, every fear, every hope. There was very little left over for myself. I do not say this with regret. I say it because it is true. If you create with your whole heart, you should expect to feel empty sometimes. That is the price. Not everyone is willing to pay it. I was.
Was it worth it?
I believe so, though I never lived to see the proof. Sometimes you have to trust that what you are building matters, even when you cannot see the result yet.
If you were alive today and could see how loved your paintings are, what would you feel?
Disbelief, probably, and then a strange kind of peace, not because of the money or the fame, but because it would mean I was not wrong. I was not crazy for believing in what I was doing. That belief was the hardest part to hold on to. Harder than the poverty. Harder than the loneliness.
What would you say to someone today who feels like a failure the way you did?
Time does not always agree with the present moment. What looks like failure today can look like courage tomorrow. You do not get to see the whole story while you are living it. Keep doing the work, even when nobody is watching, especially when nobody is watching.
One last question, Vincent. What is the most important thing you learned from your life?
That a life does not need to be successful to be meaningful. I did not sell paintings. I did not receive praise. But I created something true something that came entirely from inside me. That was enough, even if I did not always believe it while I was alive.
Vincent, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Vicky. Nobody asked me these questions while I was alive. It means more than you know.
Vincent van Gogh, everyone. Now I want to hear from you. Vincent said, "What looks like failure today can look like courage tomorrow." Is there something in your life right now that feels like failure, but might just be too early to judge? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe if you are new here. And share this episode with someone who needs to hear it today. See you in the next episode.
English with Famous Minds podcast. Listen, learn, imagine.